Dear women in this tribe, I'm back for live. Has been a little while. Just gonna see if there's anyone that wants to come on live, follow this live, because I want to share some inspiration with you. Yeah, man, I've been, it's been an interesting ride. My life is always an interesting ride. And especially the last couple of weeks, I got very ill, or I'd rather see it as that I got into a healing phase where I had like laryngitis and bronchitis and could feel how many things were kind of resolving. And then I've also been quite busy with a new program I started that I shared a little bit on in my previous video. Step into your inner power and manifest your soul's purpose, with a group of lovely women who are doing this journey with me. I see that somebody is watching. Can you let me know if you can hear me well? That would be great. And maybe reveal your name, because I don't know who's watching. I just see that 2 people are watching. Anyway, let's get started. Title for this live: What you resist persists, the #1 pitfall in manifesting, and 3 important keys to up-level your manifestation power. Yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that because, this phrase, what you resist persists, you might have already heard it because you can find it in a lot of books and videos and talks on the law of attraction. And it's around this idea that you can't manifest or transform anything from a place of resistance to what is. Like even the slightest tendency to want to move away from your current experience or your current feeling because you have a judgment over it, and judgment being like, it's not supposed to be this way, I don't like it, I don't want this is not good, this is difficult, painful, whatever your judgment is. That wanting to move away is the exact thing that will keep you stuck in that situation, because the law says that where you put your attention is where your energy goes. Where you invest your thoughts and feelings and your energy, like that's what you will see reflected back to you, because that's what what life does. It just reflects back to you what's going on inside of us. So I know that's a big hey Annelies, that's a big pitfall for people that start out with the law of manifestation and law of attraction. I know it was for me. Man, when I got into touch with this whole idea of that we are creating our own reality about maybe 12 years ago, I was in a very stuck and dark place. I was so unhappy. And I read this book by Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. I'm sure that many of you have heard of that book or maybe have read it. My voice is still cracking up. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. This is going to be my way out. So I was actually using or really trying to apply this law of attraction just to go away from the situation that I was in. And I was trying to, apply it very diligently, and I was hoping for the results, working hard to have positive thoughts and all of that. And then, of course, feeling disappointed when my attempts to apply the law of attraction would fall flat. And I see people get into the law of attraction from that place, like from wanting to move away from their current experience all the time. And it's still, it happens to me too. It's that tendency that we have to fix ourselves because we want to run away, from what's painful or difficult to look at. Yeah, so anytime that you apply, the law of attraction to kind of bypass, to try to manifest things because you think that it will make you happy or that it will make you feel like you're enough or appreciated or feel seen or safe, you keep yourself stuck in a situation that you're in because, you come from like ego desires that are backed by an energy of neediness and fear. And, you know, it's the stage where you make the vision board, you know, with the penthouse in Bali, or the huge corporate career, you know, the picture of yourself on a surfboard in the sea in some tropical island, or, you know, all the financial abundance. And then you discipline yourself and you do all the positive affirmations. And yeah, you know, you might manifest all that stuff. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that either. You know, that's a process and a phase. But will those things last? And will they make you feel really happy or fulfilled? Yeah, so I really do believe that coming from a place of resistance and trying to fix yourself, it just doesn't work. It results in a lot of frustration and a lot of disappointment. You know, I am watching an online course by Joe Dispenza. If you don't know who Joe Dispenza is, I would definitely recommend you look up that name. It's very interesting stuff. I'm kind of hooked on it. And he was sharing in this piece I was watching yesterday in this video that how he was mentoring 5 people for quite a while. People who had quite serious illnesses, who were told by medical science, like, you're never going to recover from this, like, this is lifelong. And these people were doing his meditations on a daily basis. Now, in short, his meditations are all about connecting to the unified field or to the quantum field, you know, where you have all the unlimited possibilities. Or, like, I would say that it's for me, his meditations are about like connecting to the divine energy, like inside of me. But as long he was sharing this, as long as these people were like doing the daily meditations, like hoping to heal their illness, or like, you know, wanting something to change or something to happen, or from that, you know, that question of like, when's it going to happen for me, like nothing would actually change, nothing much would change for them. But the moment they started feeling in the meditations, they started feeling completely fulfilled, and like, I call it like completely filled up with divine energy and feel whole. And as Joe Dispenza said, like, when they started feeling so happy with who they were in the moment that they couldn't care less if they had the disease or not, that's the moment that the disease would disappear, and they became like instant, there was instant healing. Yeah, and I'm sharing this because, the way to transform your life and start manifesting something different always begins with, and maybe also stays with that, like a sort of complete acceptance of what is. And the way to get to acceptance is not so much like, you know, looking at the thing that we are judging while we're in that energy of, sort of like a negativity or hopelessness or like a difficult feeling, and then by force still trying to accept it anyway. I don't think it works like that. I think it works more, you know, the way to a place of acceptance is to start filling yourself up with love, regardless of what's happening in your life or where, you know, your circumstances are at. Start filling yourself up with love. Like, start connecting to, to your higher self, to the energy of the universe that is love. Like, start infusing yourself with divine love, that love that comes from a higher source, only to realize, you know, that you are in fact that source, that that love is in you, and that there is, you know, there is no circumstance, no event that can ever take your happiness away if you are deeply rooted in that realization that you are a divine, eternal being. And coming from that place, it will be so much more easy to, love yourself and where you're at, and accept your circumstances from that place. I remember this actually like 12 years ago when I read that book by Louise Hay, that she says that the key to transformation is always to love and accept yourself exactly as you are now. That's in fact the only thing that is needed. It's only problem that we have is a lack of self-love. Excuse me. Hey, welcome. Yeah. And of course, let me repeat it again, like my invitation to start filling yourself up with divine love. Like you can't use that as a bypass. You can't use that to not feel what you are experiencing or feeling in your life right now. You really are going to have to open up your heart, and let the love in. And in opening that heart, yeah, you will probably have to feel through your pain or some of your pain, because it will just come out naturally. And yeah, but if you're held, if your experience while you're feeling your pain is one of being held by divine love, it makes it so much easier and even profound and beautiful to feel what you really need to feel. But then once you get to a place of, feeling complete and whole in yourself, if you are stating your desires, like what you want to the universe, that's when things can really start changing for you, because you don't feel that resistance to what is, and there's no attachment either for things to manifest. You don't need them to manifest because you're already whole. You're already feeling whole where you are now. So that's a beautiful place of just being able to let go. Yeah. Yeah, I really believe that, if we align ourselves to the energy of love of the universe, then manifestation starts happening through us. Like we become vessels for the creative power of the universe. We oftentimes have this idea that, we are manifesting and we are needing to make things happen. But I start letting go of that idea more and more, that it's us, that's manifesting things. We are not manifesting things, at least not from our egos or our analytical minds. I believe that manifestation is more a process of accepting, surrendering, and kind of stepping aside and becoming the channels, for the creative force of the universe, and kind of align with and ask for the things that are of the highest good of for all and for everything, for that to manifest through us. There's this thing that Abraham says, that there's like an ever-present stream of well-being and abundance in the universe that just streams or flows anyway, regardless of whether we are resistant to it or open to it. So it's our choice. Do you want to hold on to your resistance, or do you just want to open up and allow, love to manifest in your life? So in short, because I said in the title that I was going to give some keys. I guess my keys would be, if you want to start manifesting, um, your own happiness and your own fulfillment and your soul's purpose and your heart's desires, is to really practice loving and accepting yourself as you are now and accepting your life as it is now. Like really get to a place of deep compassion and deep presence with whatever's happening in your life now, and also just love the tendency in you to fix stuff, like become present of that. You can get help. There's so much help available, especially when you ask for it. But, help to process things from your past, the painful stuff that influences your resistance. Practice of forgiveness. Like there's so much that you can do in that regard to, start opening up your heart for love. And of course, connect to the source of love that is within you. And then two, like really start embracing that practice of constantly aligning your thoughts and your feelings with the energy of love. Like even if you let go of resistance, the ego is still the ego. The ego just has a natural propensity to lean into fear and control rather than faith and surrender. So I see that like if I don't, Louise Hay has this beautiful metaphor for it as well. She says, well, in the morning, I get up and I take a shower, just like to clean my body. And she would do like meditation or affirmation or prayer in the morning, just like to clean her mind, because that's a bit the tendency of the ego. It always tends to, want to go back to that place of control and kind of fear and limits and lack. So it's a wonderful practice, and you can do it. I mean, it can be meditation, visualization, prayer, journaling, whatever your thing is, but to spend some time daily as a practice to align yourself with the energy of the universe, as I like to call it. And then 3, just start that practice of like filling yourself up so much with love that you feel complete, just as you are now, that you feel whole, and that you're not even attached to having your desires fulfilled. That it doesn't even matter, like I believe that's the moment that things can really show up, when we are in an energy of, acceptance and love and wholeness. My business coach, Maartje Koper, calls it the manifestation mindfuck. That it's so double that we so easily step into that pitfall of thinking, here's the law of attraction, now let me do stuff, let me really like try to apply this and work towards a certain goal, while actually it's a process of stopping to do things, of non-doing, of surrender, of stepping aside and becoming those vessels for the creative force. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Yeah, what comes up for you? And also, like, do we have any questions? I love questions. Like, whenever I get... So love it if you would ask your questions and place your reactions in the chat below. Immediately. So okay. I'll sign off here, and I hope to read you later. Mwah.